So if you were like me and many others, you grew up watching G4. And it was maybe not a focal point of your childhood or your teenage years, but maybe it was a big part. And then it slowly started to fade away. And if you were like me, one of the things that I would do, we didn't have like TV, like we had TVs, of course, but we didn't have like cable. We didn't have any of those things. So the only way that I could watch G4 was through YouTube, and just like YouTube clips, or there was an app actually that I think G4 would post their videos on, and I don't remember what that app was, but there was an app that G4 used to post their videos on, and I would watch it that way, some of their clips and stuff. And then my neighbor that did have cable, we were over at their house all the time, and I would get to watch G4 that way. And luckily, the guy that I was hanging out with was kind of cool with whatever. So if I wanted to watch G4, then he wanted to watch G4. It wasn't that big of a deal. And so that's how I watched G4. And that's how I got to know Chris Gore and got to know his movie reviews. And anyway, he's been working on this doc for a good while. And I don't know if you've known what's going on with G4, but G4 came back and everyone was pretty excited, and then it fell apart because of who they hired, because of the stances they took, some of the things they did. We come to find out later on they had weird to get hired there, you had to like basically talk crap about Batman or something, or like it was supposed to be like how Batman's a fascist or something, which is kind of funny because of the Blue Beetle trailer. But anyway, clearly they were hiring people of a certain mindset, and so you might be a nerd, but they were only going to hire you if you had the right ideology. And it fell apart. They told people not to watch their stuff, and people didn't watch their stuff. And so it's kind of like a bittersweet thing where you have all these great memories, but then you have this like it kind of came back and went down with a whimper. But Chris Gore, OG guy, decided to make a documentary about it, and I'm definitely going to be excited to watch it. I trust Chris Gore. I think he's a great guy, and maybe it would be interesting to take a blast from the past a little bit with this documentary. So anyway, let's see what he's got for us.
If I were to just start apologizing for the things that we did wrong 10 years ago, the show would never end.
G4 was really one of the very last cable channels ever launched. It was the end of this linear cable era before we got to streaming and whatever it is we watch now.
Something unique, something different, something a little meta, something that was turn the mirror back onto pop culture and kind of spit in its face, but then wipe it off and give you a kiss at the same time.
He was a TV host who was also a production assistant on another show.
Oh, nice molester stash.
You do know who that is, right?
It's Shia LaBeouf, Transformer Kid.
No, it's you.
A friend sent me a series of VHS resume tapes. There was no one better than Whitney Cummings until Olivia Munn came on set.
Hello, Governor. I am Olivia Munn.
She delivered amazingly.
We dumped a bunch of snakes on her. Wow.
Was Olivia wearing Slave Leia at Comic-Con?
History in the making.
The floodgates that they were open.
Fans were losing their minds.
We were being hounded.
It was also kind of subversive 4chan dark comedy.
We did stuff that would not fly.
Go for power, girl. You're a whore. Also, more susceptible to getting AIDS.
And then from there, the wheels were off the bus.
You got another light bulb, right? Deal, check out. And it's on fire.
Sorry, guys.
For a half Chinese, half American girl diving into a giant chocolate-filled cream pie.
Right before we went live, Kevin had just shown me 2 girls, 1 cup.
Sex with dragons is one of God's special mysteries.
I spent 8 years researching space dragon sex.
Mannequin. Not all of those things that happened on the show
I don't swallow with Kevin.
would be acceptable by today's standards.
The infamous fat suit gag, one of our production management was going to walk.
I did a lot of on-camera drinking. Try a beer from every single
2.7. You should be dead.
People will look at a broadcast back then and think, ooh.
Oh my.
Yeah.
You can't do that anymore.
Man, we did it once, but now no more. You can't do that no more.
I mean, I'm in. It seems interesting. It kind of is kind of like a look at like what was done back then. Like I don't want to be a broken record there, but clearly there was things that they used to do back in the day that wouldn't fly anymore, and it's outrageous. It's ridiculous, and in some ways inappropriately it's funny, and that's kind of the point. And I don't know, I think a lot of people don't realize like how, I don't know, there's just not many funny things anymore. It's hard to find like a true comedy. There's not many comedies anymore. It's hard to find one that's actually funny. And I think the point is that you can you got to take those risks, And we have to be free to take risks, We have to be free to be offensive in some ways, to find jokes, There's plenty of offensive jokes I'm not a fan of, but I think they have the right to say it, And we don't have stuff like that anymore with a production like that, Like the funniest stuff we get is stuff from like TikTok, So anyway, guys, before I just have a sneezing fit because my nose is like freaking out right now, what did y'all think of that? Are y'all interested in watching that documentary when it comes out? Let me know in the comments down below. And guys, whatever you're doing, wherever you're going, I hope you're having a good one. Peace.